It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
That's right, it's here, the official start of the new NBA season. I'm Ernie Johnson, excited to be here once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-around. We'll be watching the Detroit Pistons as they go up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they put in a whole lot of hard work and preparation. Saw them already in the preseason, and now all those adjustments get put to the test for a game that's going to count, and they're hoping to start out 1-0. And here we go, two of the best rebounding teams in the league going head-to-head. Should be a lot of physical play. Who has the advantage, Shaq?
Well, whoever boxes out, Ernie has the advantage. It's a lost art. You don't really see it a lot. That's why you see a lot of guys coming in off the free throw line with the booyaka tip dunk. It's all about anticipation, toughness, and commitment.
Well, great rebounding can make up for a lot of deficiencies elsewhere in your game. So if you can get other shots, you can get more shots and more possessions, you're going to have a better chance of winning.
I can see by the clock over there that it's almost ready.
Oh, wow.
We're just set for the game to begin. So let's send it down to Kevin Harlan with the call.
Great view from across the water, looking at a majestic Motor City skyline. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. Kevin Harlan here, along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The fans here in Detroit ready to cheer on their Pistons in this interconference matchup. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
And in their two matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Utah, Maravich is out there with Stockton. It's Andre Kirilenko, and it's Malone, and it's the Beast in its center. Utah Jazz, one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
Malone, good.
My, he is so adept at finishing in the low post.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. And here is Thomas. And Hill has it in the corner. Wallace with a screen for Hill. No good. So Utah will take it the other way.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
Now here's Malone. 6 on the shot clock. Maravich against Hill. No good for Maravich. Utah's on defense. Outside Thomas. The feed now to Hamilton. Wallace with the screen on Maravich. Back to Thomas. Wallace outside. Puts up a three. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Wallace has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
As you said with the Jazz, I mean, defense travels very well in the NBA. Teams that find ways to grind out road wins do it with really solid defense. Jazz fans have a lot to look forward to with this group.
Now, here is Maravich. Back to Malone. Connects in the foul line jumper. Malone's got his second basket. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Wallace a screen. Thomas kicks to Wallace. Dishes it to Hill. Back to Wallace. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Wallace has got 5 points so far.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Stockton. Second chance effort, and it's good on the layup.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Pistons have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Thomas against Stockton. Thomas passes to Drummond. Second chance shot. He lays it in. Drummond's got his first basket of the night. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Cameo song, Back and Forth.
Detroit with the rebound. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. I mean, that's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill.
Jazz trail by 3. Stockton outside. Here's Heaton. And it's sent back by Drummond. Now Detroit moving it up. Hamilton's got the ball. They get it again. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Second, Andre Drummond.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
And Detroit has possession. Wallace the screen. Pass to Drummond. Feeds it to Hamilton. Now Drummond. He's coming off a 16-point game against Atlanta.
And he also chipped in with a couple blocks in that game. Just a hint at the impact he had on the defensive side.
Here's Kirilenko. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins. A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Stockton. And it's sent back by Wallace. Thomas with the ball. He dishes it to Hill. Passes it to Hamilton. To the paint. The kick out to Hill. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 3rd in second chance points. 4th in rebounding. And they were top 10 in fewest team turnovers. This team has a number of players that take care of the ball and value every possession.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite. And they weren't shy about sticking their nose in there and going after the ball. Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. They look strong here in the early going.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Quinn Snyder. Doris, what do you have to say?
Kevin, he told me that basically on the defensive end, if they can do a good job on their outside shooters, everything else should fall into place. He said, listen, if we can force them to work the ball inside on a consistent basis, we feel like we have an excellent chance to win. We'll see, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Devising a strategy, Clark, to take away that three-point shot.
Yeah, I think it's an important part of the defensive game plan because teams nowadays are just too good to not defend them from behind the three-point line.
Johnson dishes to Drummond. Misses that one. He's made 1 and missed 2 this game so far. Maravich kicks to Stockton. Hayward on the wing. He's guarded by Hill. Malone with the screen. Hayward passes to Malone. Clock at 4. Kirilenko dishes to Hayward. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist. And for Andrei Kirilenko, you have to wonder how many NBA seasons he has left. I mean, he was one of the league's most dynamic power forwards at the height of his career. Now injuries and age have reduced him to a fraction of the player he once was. Chance here to check out some stats on Gordon Hayward. He had a strong showing last season. Last season put up about 19 points per, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And you know, that's what stars do. It isn't always about scoring 50 points. It's about making plays consistently.
And the Pistons making a change. Prince is checked in, so Utah. Derek Favors checked in for Malone. Boozer comes in for Andrei Kirilenko. Rodney Hood's checked in for Maravich. And it's Williams in for Stockton. Now here's Johnson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Johnson's got his first 2 points. Jazz trail by 6. Williams kicks to Boozer. To Hood. Lets the 3 fly. Utah gets it back. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
You know, Clark, the thing you like about Derek Favors is he keeps adding to his game every year. You forget how young he is, too.
That's exactly right. We need a reminder. This guy came into the league very early, right after a year of college. Seems like he's been around forever.
And for Favors and his youth, he has made big strides. And in a few years' time could be one of the more dominant bigs in our league.
Van Beers checked in for the Pistons. He's off on the second.
And guys, with Favors, his development, you know, you forget. Sometimes it takes big men a little longer to figure it out. I mean, he's certainly been putting it together here the last few seasons.
Boozer kicks to Hood. Favors with the screen. Hood, the pass to Favors. And the call will be against Ben Wallace.
That's 2 fouls for him very early in this ball game. He'll probably have to spend some time on the bench before halftime.
Screen by Boozer. Kicks to Hayward. Ring shot on the way. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Hayward's got his second basket of the night. Pistons leading by 3. Phillips kicks to Johnson. He feeds it to Prince. Outside, Phillips. The dish to Johnson. 6 to shoot. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Jazz trail by 3. Here's Hood. Right side, Williams. Hayward on the wing. He's guarded by Phillips. Hayward can't hit.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now here's Prince. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Johnson outside. Lampier with a screen on Hayward. Stolen by Boozer. Now here's Williams. The pass to Hayward. Nice ball movement by Utah. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession.
And you know what? Just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them. You know, for Carlos Boozer, last year was a bit peculiar. I mean, after being a key player for several playoff teams throughout his career, he landed on the Lakers where the playoffs were nowhere in sight. Tough environment for a veteran to succeed in.
And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year. In third, the Jazz.
I don't think you can ever underestimate the effect that a few block shots can have on your opponent. I mean, it can get into your head as an offensive player. You're going in there thinking you've got a clear path, and then you see the ball going behind you in reverse. I mean, that could be major intimidation and affect your game.
Detroit on D. 3-point lead. Favors at the elbow. 6 on the shot clock. Favors sets the pick for Hayward. The high post shot, and that's good for 2. Hayward's got 6. Detroit's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. To the middle. Here's Lambier. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. And the Pistons lead by 3.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Screen by Boozer. And there's the feed to Williams. Boozer a screen on Billups. Billups against Williams. He kicks it to Boozer. Rebound by Wallace.
We've got a narrow edge here in rebounding early on. You wonder how much that'll play going forward.
It's a game of inches, and every play counts.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Now here's Hayward. He's got 6. Boozer a screen on Johnson. And taken away by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance. Prince dishes to Lambier. Johnson outside. Five on the clock. From the high post. Cannot hit. And it's Utah the other way. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication.
Boozer with the rebound.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
So both teams making some changes here. Here's Dumars. From deep three-point range. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Pistons lead by 6. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. And Derek Favors known for his work ethic, and he talked about his focus on developing his skills. Well, the desire is there, and sounds like the commitment that he's showing is to how far, Greg, you think he can go?
Well, you talk about desire and commitment, and then you throw in the fact that he has the talent that can be built upon and improved. One big factor will be injuries. That's the big X factor that determines so many more careers than desire. Talent and commitment, you need to stay on the court.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
A lot of times, the team that owns the paint is going to come away with the victory, and that's what they've done here thus far.
Yeah, why change the plan until they make you? And that's where they should continue to attack moving forward, going inside.
On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. We've got Carlos Boozer. Jeff Hornacek is out there with Williams. And it's Hayward. And it's Gobert in at the center, filling out the middle. And Utah making a change here. Malone's checked in.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Ball stolen. Phillips passes to Dumars. Sally with a screen on Hornacek. 5 to shoot. Here's Dumars. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball. All the officials are all over that.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
And, you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft but would not immediately hire an agent.
Okay, yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed two-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
The first free throw is good.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
Thomas checked in for Chauncey Billups. And a switcher also for Utah. Ingles is checked in. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
Dumars. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
And you know, Utah might not have finished 500 on the season, but they did finish 500 against the Eastern Conference. Went 15-15 last season.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. And for the Jazz, getting those wins, Greg, out of conference, you were just talking about that, was a big key for them. Helps them keep pace, Clark, in this rugged Western Conference.
And I thought the Jazz got better and better as the season wore on. They started slowly against the East last year, but won 5 of their last 6 out of conference.
And the second free throw, good.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
And there's the defensive 3-second call. As I said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement. And, Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assist and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
And that one falls for Hornacek. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
It's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Now, here is Hornacek. A 3-ball. Detroit with the rebound. And here's Dumars. And Drummond kicks to DeBusschere. Outside Dumars. Pass to Sally. Dishes it to DeBusschere. Here's Dumars on the mark with the 15-footer. Dumars got the lead up to 9 now for Detroit.
You know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
Now here's Hayward. 8 points for him. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
All right, a moment to check out the stats for Andre Drummond. Last season, he played outstanding. 2nd in rebounding, 10th in blocks, and he was such a reliable option offensively, finishing in the top 10 in field goal percentage.
And looking back to last season, his complete dominance on the boards to rank number 2 overall, remarkable.
Sally against Malone. Outside Dumars. 11 feet away, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process. Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here. And every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. Hayward was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
And thanks for that story, Doris.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Utah shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
One of the worst in the league a season ago, just 72%.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Feeds to Thomas. Here's Drummond. That is good. Drummond's got his second basket of the night.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Now here's Hayward. 8 points for him, and he gets it to go.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's Johnson. 7-point differential, and he gets the bucket. Johnson's got his second basket.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
Utah with the ball, following the bucket by the Pistons. This one for 3. Ingles can't get it to go. Detroit leading by 9. Johnson dishes to Thomas. Kicks it out to Johnson. Sally with a screen on Hornacek. Johnson attacking. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Johnson's got the lead up to 11 now for Detroit.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And now the Pistons fast break. And here we go. That's good. Johnson's got 8 points.
That's a precision shot. You've got to be precise. No room for error on the floater.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
Yeah, and I think he's going to let them know about it. I mean, they're playing some soft interior defense, and you can't win that way. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not going to play with some physicality inside.
With the break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second-chance points last year. The Jazz second. In the third spot, the Pistons.
So many second-chance opportunities for both of these clubs a season ago, and they really took advantage.
Wallace is checked in for Sally. Utah also making some changes. Andre Kirilenko's checked in for Malone. Maravich comes in for Joe Ingles, and it's Stockton in for Jeff Hornacek. Jazz trail by 13. Now Stockton favors with the screen. Passes it to Hayward from the arc. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And one thing about Gordon Hayward, he's an excellent playmaker for a small forward. Averaged over 4 assists a game after averaging over 5 the year before. So you've got to love a scorer who is also unselfish.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming out. Getting back to Hayward, the one area where you'd like to see him improve, taking care of the basketball. Averages nearly 3 turnovers a game the past couple of years.
And, Kevin, he's made a concerted effort to be more aggressive on offense while being more efficient as well. So he's got to balance those two, aggression and efficiency. Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the two things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say.
You know, as I watched Derek Favors last season, he continued to develop his offense. He was a big, unpolished athlete coming into the league, had some conditioning problems, but now it seems like he's on track to be a force as a power forward.
And so Favors nails both of them. Talking about Derek Favors, his points per game average went up last season, as it has done in each of his 6 seasons in the league. He's an ascending player.
He has, definitely refined his moves down on the blocks, and he's also become much improved at passing out of the double team, averaging a career high in assists last season as well. The arrow is certainly pointing up for Mr. Favors.
Now here's Hayward. Isaiah Thomas missing his last shot. Here's Kirilenko. The basket good off the assist from Hayward.
And immediately looking for the open man when the double team comes to him.
Pistons leading by 7. Drummond with a screen on Stockton. Thomas goes in. He dishes it to Drummond. Drummond the screen. Here's Johnson. Tries from 10. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. Yeah, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
And the Pistons making a change here. Hamilton's checked in. And a switcher also for Utah. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gordon Hayward. Good on the second free throw.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And a moment now to check out some of the numbers for Derek Favors. Last year, getting it done. 7th in field goal percentage and a top 15 ranking in block backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And, you know, back to his tremendous efficiencies from 3 last year. I mean, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense.
All right, now, take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, it's right in Auburn Hills.
I know.
I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
No good on the second free throw.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponents.
Jazz trail by 9. Boozer a screen on Johnson. Stockton kicks to Favors. That's good, and a nice assist from Stockton. 6 points for Derek Favors.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Lambier screen. Johnson kicks to Prince. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Puts up a three. Johnson can't get it to go.
And the Pistons, how about starting out 2-13 at home? I mean, they did turn it around afterwards, going 16-10 to finish out the season. At least they seem to be headed in the right direction.
Now here's Stockton. Cliff Hamilton with the rebound.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into. Get to work on the glass.
Now, here is Maravich, following the miss by John Stockton. Inside, Favors. Can't get it to go. Nice defense from Wallace. Pistons leading by 7. Johnson with it. 8 points for him. And the rejection by Favors. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. So for the Pistons, Hill comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And Chauncey Billups has subbed in for Johnson. Rodney Hood's checked in for the Jazz. Williams comes in for Stockton. Lambier against Boozer. 5 on the clock. Here's Wallace. And a foul. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
First trip to the line for him here. And that one misses.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
The Beast, he's checked in for Andrei Kirilenko. Good on the second free throw.
And we all know Utah is a very young team. Last year, only the 76ers were younger. Still very competitive given the age and the lack of experience from this group.
And the basket by Hill.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Jazz trail by 10. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Hood's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. An interesting fact about the Jazz and their age last year. At one point, they didn't even have the oldest starting 5 in the state of Utah. Now think of this. The starting 5 of BYU, Craig and I were just talking about this, had an older average than Utah did.
Yeah, amazing. You look at the ages of Exum and Gobert and Favors. Makes sense that would be the case.
Here's Hood. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
DeBusschere, he's checked in for the Pistons. Dumars comes in for Richard Hamilton. Gobert, he's checked in for the Jazz. Pistons leading by 7. Billups kicks to Wallace. Wants to get it to Hill, and does.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
Maravich, good.
Boy, an impressive job there by Boozer setting that screen.
Pistons shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Wallace with the screen on Williams. Billups against Williams. It's the floater. Gobert with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. 52 seconds left here in the second. Dumars kicks to DeBusschere. 3 on the clock. Stolen by Boozer.
And with the time left, they still can go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to do it fast. They must hurry from here.
And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. It's his first trip to the line. The first one falls. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Screen by Boozer. Williams kicks to Hood. Nice ball movement by Utah. Mirovic against Dumars. Williams for 3. Rebound, Detroit. Wallace has got 4 rebounds in this game.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
And Dumars gets it to go.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Outside, Mirovic. And that's not going to go. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. The Pistons on top. They lead by 8. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Detroit finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They have a solid 8-point lead. Shaq, what you think?
Well, the shots were dropping for them. I mean, they was just dropping out of everywhere, dropping out the ceiling, dropping out the popcorn guy, man's hand, whatever. It didn't matter what the defense was. They found a way to get a good look almost every time. They just got to be patient, take as long as they need to keep finding those high percentage shots.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Jazz.
One problem is that they didn't show enough aggressiveness on the boards. When you start losing a game, that's when you're supposed to tighten up and toughen up. Your pride has to be challenged, and you need to rise to the occasion. They've got to be more aggressive as a team, and that will cut into the lead.
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. During the break, the players getting refueled with Gatorade. They're looking amped up and ready to get going once again.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he has 14 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
Detroit leading by 8. Hill is out there with Wallace. Then there's Andre Drummond. Then there's Richard Hamilton. And it's Thomas in at the 1 spot. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Now here is Hill. And the foul on Andre Kirilenko. That's his third foul of the game.
And it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Thomas kicks to Wallace. Hits the jumper. Wallace has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Pistons. Jazz trail by 10. Stockton kicks to Malone. Malone with the screen. Stockton passes to Malone. Kirilenko dishes to Maravich. Shot clock at 5. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, just nice strength there and then just off with the shot.
Boy, with all the contact he drew there, Greg, that would have been a heck of a bucket. He nearly got it to go.
The Jazz have gone 9 of 13 from the line.
All right, now, take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Maravich hits them both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
And Andre Drummond, the bucket on the assist by Hill. And it's 8 points here for Drummond. Jazz trail by 10. Pass to Malone. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. And he knocks down the first one.
Malone has got it going on tonight. He's got 8 points.
And he can't hit the second.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team. You know, for the past few seasons, guys, Detroit have been a team that struggled to punish teams from the perimeter. Last year, that was not the case. They showed dramatic improvement in being a threat from behind the arc.
Now, here is Maravich. And the shot is good. Maravich has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Here's Wallace. He's got 10. Here's Hill. No good. The Jazz go the other way with it. As you said, the Pistons became a team that could hurt you from deep. They set a franchise record for most makes per game and almost 9 made threes per contest.
And it wasn't like Detroit was forcing it. I mean, they were just good at shooting the three. I mean, they finished in the top 10 in the NBA in both total three-pointers made and three-point percentage.
Outside, Maravich. And again, it's Utah. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Stockton against Thomas. It's Hill on the wing. He's got 9. Wallace misses. Jazz trail by 7. Outside, Maravich. And Utah again with the bucket.
How can you stop that? With a crossover that quick, that lightning quick, a defender has to be almost superhuman to stay in front of that.
Brooke has some information for us, Doris.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He made sure that everyone was on the same page and that the offense needed to run through Wallace. When Coach addressed the guys in the huddle, his message was clear. Quote, he's who we want getting the bulk of the touches. He is who we want making our decisions. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now here's Stockton. Malone is screen on Thomas. Stockton kicks to Malone. Stolen by Thomas. To the paint. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists in the game.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. It's really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from the Beast.
They are on fire right now. That's 4 straight mates.
Thomas kicks to Hill. He feeds it to Drummond. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Drummond's got 4 points this quarter.
And that's right where they wanted to go with the ball, in rhythm.
Stockton outside. Kicks it to Hayward. The shot by Malone. Rebound Andre Drummond.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
And it's Hill with the jam.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Jazz trail by 11. Stockton dishes to Malone. Screen by Malone. Hayward outside. 6 to shoot. Shot off the screen. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Hayward's got 16.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jump?
The drive by Hill.
As they've shown some great passing on their last few trips now on the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Now here's Stockton. Here's Heaton. From 13 feet, it goes down. The Beasts got 4 this quarter. Pistons leading by 9. Outside Thomas. Thomas a screen. Wallace with a screen on Kirilenko. And the basket by Hill.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead. Well, look here at last year in the NBA, where the Jazz ranked. First in opponent points per game, second in second chance points. And they were ranked third in blocks. A good, solid defensive team in the paint.
And the hallmark for this team is that stifling defense. I mean, you mentioned that ranking. Lowest opponent's points per game. They just grind teams down and really just took the life out of them.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Lambeer's checked in for Wallace. Prince comes in for Hill, and it's Johnson in for Richard Hamilton. Here's Ingles, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Favors against Lambeer. On the wing, Johnson. Five on the clock. Utah with the rebound. A decent amount of time left as they try to find a way back into it.
Not time to panic yet, guys.
Yeah, but it will be soon if they don't start cutting into this deficit.
The dish now to Hornacek. Favors with a screen on Johnson. Hornacek. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Johnson, the pass to Thomas. Here's Lambeer. Back to Thomas. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And also, their mid-range game has been impressive. A tough shot to rely upon, but they really had it going tonight.
A different look here for Detroit. DeBusschere, he's checked in for Drummond. And Chauncey Billups is subbed in for Johnson. And a switch here also for Utah. Hood's checked in. And both free throws good for Thomas. Jazz trail by 13. Here's Hornacek. Gobert with a screen on Thomas. Hornacek outside. The pass to Hayward. Just 5 on the clock. Tries it from 9. And Favors gets it to go in on the assist by Hayward. 8 points for Derek Favors.
Nice, accurate pass right into the middle.
And stolen by Hayward. And there's the feed to Hood. Hayward kicks to Hood. Wide open. It's rebounded by DeBusschere.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Utah foul. Rodney Hood. First personal foul team's third.
And the Jazz making a change here. Williams has checked in. The Pistons have made 8 of their 12 free throws in this game.
And they only made 70% of their free throws as a team a season ago. Certainly room for improvement.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
And over the course of last season, and really the last decade, we have seen three-point shooting on the rise. Teams have been making the most of the efficiency of that shot, and it's a big part of successful offenses in the modern NBA.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hood. Hits the front of the rim and out. Pistons leading by 14. Pushing it up. That's tipped. It's stolen by Gobert. Here's Hood. Gobert with a screen for Williams. Outside Favors. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last. And with the three-pointers, the best teams in the NBA are great, Adam Clark. All 4 of the conference finals teams from last year were tops in the NBA in 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a predominant stat in the NBA now. And you look at some of the numbers. Curry broke his own record for made threes in the season. The Rockets said they're part of the game that you have to be good at to succeed in the league.
Ben Wallace, he's checked in for the Pistons. Dumars comes in for Isaiah Thomas. Now, here is DeBusschere. On the wing, Dumars. 10 points for him. Here's the teardrop. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Sally, he's checked in for the Pistons.
John Sally.
Wallace a screen. And stolen by Hood. Hayward kicks to Gobert. Pass to Hood. Dishes it to Boozer. Tries it from 9. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
And you know, with his free throw percentage being where it was last season, it changed the way teams defended him. I mean, there were no easy baskets. He was going to get fouled anytime he got near the rim. They were going to make him earn his points at the line.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Pistons leading by 13. DeBusschere dishes to Wallace. Phillips against Boozer. Outside Phillips. Wallace with a screen on Boozer. Clock at 4. Here's Phillips. Boozer with the defensive effort. Jazz trail by 13.
And guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with the reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper, yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season.
Phillips passes to Dumars. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. With a break in the action, we go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that excelled at slowing the pace down a campaign ago. The Jazz, number 1.
Defense was their identity, and that's how they're going to beat you. And they did it better than anyone in the league.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
And he knocks down the first one.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half it's been nothing but success.
And Dumars drops them both. 1:25 left in the third. Jazz trail by 13. Boozer a screen on Dumars. Maravich kicks to Boozer. That falls. Nice feed that time from Pete Maravich.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Detroit's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Williams against Billups. Wallace outside. Inside. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And the Pistons lead by 13.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
Now, here is Maravich. 11 points in the game. Boozer. 17 seconds left in the third. Shot clock at 6. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Tries again. And it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. Phillips has got his first bucket in this one.
Billups knocking down one of those. Par for the course.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Pistons lead by 15. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Here's Hornacek. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Jeff Hornacek is out there with Maravich. Then there's Boozer. Then there's Favors. And it's Kirilenko in at the 3. Now, here is Hornacek. He kicks to Kirilenko. Just 4 to shoot. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Hornacek, no luck.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
It's 2-on-1. And here we go. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. Pistons leading by 15. Drummond the screen, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
The turnover difference hasn't been in their favor, but you know what? It hasn't really slowed them down too much. I like the fact they're staying aggressive here.
And the Pistons making a change here. Hamilton's checked in. Utah also making some changes. Malone comes in for Boozer, and Stockton subbed in for Maravich. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Malone a screen on Johnson. Stockton against Johnson. Floats one up. Rebound, Detroit.
And fancy finishes like that look great, but man, it's embarrassing when you blow them.
On the wing, Johnson. Wallace with a screen on Stockton. Here's Johnson. Passes to Wallace. The shot misses. Some solid defense here from Malone. Jazz trail by 15. Stockton kicks to Hornacek. Malone against Johnson. Outside Kirilenko. Back to Malone. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for the Jazz. Free throw drops for Malone. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Pistons leading by 12. Hamilton the pass to Johnson. He dishes it to Wallace. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hamilton. They get it back. Nice shot by Wallace. And the Pistons lead by 14.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now, here is Hornacek. Banked in off the glass.
Well, you can bet the defense wasn't expecting that kind of razzle-dazzle out of him. But the spin worked like a charm. Perfect.
Johnson outside. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Hill drives in. The runner. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
Now here's Stockton. And here's Malone. Hornacek outside. Down low. Favors can't get it to go. Pistons leading by 12. Hill dishes to Johnson. Wallace with the screen on Hayward. Johnson, a wide open look. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Malone. Favors with the screen. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Isaiah Thomas checked in for Johnson. And Utah with a change here, too. The Beast, he's checked in for Derek Favors. The Pistons have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thomas.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Jazz trail by 14. Stockton kicks to Malone. It's taken away by Wallace. And here comes Thomas leading the fast break. The second chance effort. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Talk about a terrific game for Thomas. He's got 11 points and 4 assists.
And he's really put together a nice combination of points at the free throw line, but also getting the assist.
Can you say fundamentals clinic, guys?
That's good from Thomas.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
And both free throws good for Thomas. Jazz trail by 16. Stockton kicks to Malone. To the paint. Here's Heaton. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Pass to Wallace. Wants to get it to Hamilton and does. Misses from close range.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Now the pass to the Beast. Malone dishes to Stockton. He feeds it to Hayward. 5 to shoot. There's the pick. Pulls it from 20, and it's sent back by Drummond. And that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession.
Welcome, fans, to the FIBA.
Joe Ingles is checked in for Jeff Hornacek.
Coming up in the 4th Joe Ingles.
Three-pointer from Stockton, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. And Detroit has possession. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. Hill sets the screen for Thomas. Wallace with the screen on Stockton. Just 5 to shoot. Malone with the steal. Stockton outside. Malone outside. They set the pick. Three-pointer, Hayward. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Now, here's Thomas. Inside, Hill. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got assist number 5 here tonight.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Stockton kicks to Hayward. Back to Stockton. Malone a screen on Thomas. Thomas against Stockton. Malone in the high post. The Beast passes to Stockton, and that one's good.
Assist from Eaton.
Pistons leading by 11.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Palace, let's give it up for your auto motion.
Let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. And the Jazz making a change here. Maravich is checked in. Stockton against Thomas. Stockton, Malone outside. Kicks to Hayward. Up top, Maravich. And that's a foul called on the Beast. That is his first foul of the game. Joe Dumars, he's checked in for Detroit.
Back on the floor, Joe Dumars.
Pistons leading by 11. There's the dish to Drummond. Just 5 on the clock. Fades and shoots. That misses off the backboard.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over.
The Beast passes to Stockton. To the middle. Here's Hayward. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Detroit's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Outside Hill. Wallace the screen. It's off his leg. And the ref saying he kicked it. Here's Drummond. The rebound by the Jazz. The Beasts got 3 rebounds now in this one. And he gets it to go. 21 points for Gordon Hayward.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Thomas kicks to Dumars. Wallace with the screen on Maravich. Dumars dishes to Wallace. To stop the drought. Makes a big high bounce and goes in. And the Pistons lead by 11. Jazz have gone 6 of 13, so just about 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Malone passes to Hayward. They set the pick. Back to Malone. Pass to the Beast. It's hauled in by Dumars. Detroit leading by 11. The feed to Hill. Shot from 12. And he gets the jumper to drop. Hill's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just carrying the load right now offensively, guys. He is not wasting any chances.
From where I sit, Greg, it's a simple deduction. If they want things to be easy on themselves here late, make sure he has the ball.
Now here's Stockton. Malone a screen on Thomas. Here's Heaton. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. The Jazz making a switch here. Kirilenko's checked in.
Utah timeout call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Palace, let's give it up for your auto motion.
Four on the clock. Here's Maravich. That's good, and a nice assist from Stockton. Maravich has got 11 points here in just the second half. Detroit with the ball. At one point, they led by 16. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Seems to me as though he's lost his way a little bit in the second half. He'd been turnover free before the break. That's certainly not the case anymore.
Malone a screen on Dumars. Here's Maravich. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Looking at the game Maravich has been having, he's got 13 points, and he's done a good job distributing the ball as well.
And you can't really place a value on what that means to a team. His passing has really helped their cause.
That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. Thomas with the ball. Inside. Poked away. Stolen by Kirilenko. Stockton up top. Dishes it to Maravich. Back to Stockton. Screen by Malone. Stockton kicks to Malone. Here's Heaton, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. Hackett, the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. Second of 2 is good. That brings them within single digits.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Thomas against Stockton. And the basket by Thomas.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Dumars against Maravich. Passes it to the Beast. Feeds it to Stockton. Malone with the screen. Shot clock at 6. Kept alive. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And the Pistons making a change here. Lambier's checked in. That's the first, and that brings them to within 10. He's off on the free throw and able to get that second one to drop in.
And that's been the story of the game. I mean, the rebounding has been very one-sided.
Yeah, and they've been on the winning end. I mean, effort is one thing you can always control in addition to attitude. I would credit this lead to force of will.
To the paint. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. That one on Malone.
Just absolute domination in this one for Waller. He has 14 points and 2 blocks. He's gotten after it on the boards for them as well as in the transition game.
And I like the fact that one has really fed into the other.
And he makes the first. A different look here for Detroit. Prince comes in for Hill, and it's Johnson in for Thomas. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for the Beast. Joe Ingles comes in for Karl Malone. Jeff Hornacek, he's checked in for Maravich, and it's Williams in for Stockton. Wallace hits 2 free throws.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
On the wing, Williams, covered by Dumars. Nice ball movement by Utah. Ingles dishes to Kirilenko. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
For the Pistons, back on the floor, Johnson.
There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's the screen. Outside Dumars. 5 to shoot. He kicks it to Johnson. Gobert pulls it in. Here is Williams. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubt that they'd come out on top.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's move on to our Jordan Player of the Game.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. You get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.